Marissa's bold confrontation with Trump on a busy sidewalk sparked a promise that transformed her life with a dream job in logistics. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments, where are you watching from? Which states? Which city? We love to know and connect with our viewers. Just a few days back, a young woman named Marissa Hensley stood on a busy city sidewalk, holding a cardboard sign that read, "Hug me for $5. She was trying to make ends meet, to pay her rent, and to support her little brother after facing rejection from dozens of job applications. That day, something unexpected happened. President Donald Trump's motorcade came to a sudden stop right in front of her. Trump stepped out, approached Marissa, and asked her what her sign was all about. What followed was a heated exchange about freedom, opportunity, and the struggles of everyday Americans, like Marissa. She told him how she'd applied to 37 jobs, only to be turned away because of her tattoos or excuses like not fitting the brand. Trump, in response, promised to help. He didn't give her a hug, but he did something else. He turned to one of his aides and instructed them to find Marissa a real job, something solid in a field like manufacturing or logistics, where she had skills and training. That moment left Marissa with a glimmer of hope, and it left all of us wondering, would Trump's promise actually come to life? Fast forward to today. This was the day when Marissa Hensley's life changed forever. After months of waiting, wondering if that encounter on the sidewalk was just a fleeting moment of publicity, Marissa finally got the call she'd been dreaming of. Her phone buzzed early that morning while she was making breakfast for her little brother, Tyler. She glanced at the screen, an unknown number. Normally, she'd let it go to voicemail, but something told her to pick up. "Hello, this is Marissa," she said, her voice cautious. On the other end was a woman named Karen, who introduced herself as part of a special task force set up by the president's team to follow through on his promises. "Marissa Hensley? We've got an opportunity for you," Karen said. "It's a logistics position at a factory just outside the city. They're expanding operations, and they need someone with your skills. Can you come in for an interview today?" Marissa's heart raced. She could barely believe it. After all the rejections, the canceled training programs, and the endless waiting, was this finally her chance? She quickly agreed, telling Karen she'd be there in a few hours. She hung up, turned to Tyler, and let out a small scream of excitement. "Tyler, I might actually get a job today," she said, her eyes welling up. Tyler, who was just 12, grinned and gave her a high five. "I knew you'd do it, Marissa," he said, his faith in his big sister unshakable. Marissa didn't have much time to prepare. She threw on her best outfit, a clean white blouse and black pants she'd bought secondhand for interviews, and grabbed her folder of certificates, including the online logistics course she'd completed a year ago. She looked in the mirror, her tattoos peeking out from under her sleeves. For a moment, she hesitated. What if they judged her again? But then she remembered Trump's words. America is about being yourself, about winning. She took a deep breath, tied her hair back, and headed out the door. The factory was a 45-minute bus ride from her apartment, in an industrial area she'd never been to before. As the bus rolled through the city, Marissa's mind raced with memories of the past few months. After her encounter with Trump, she'd waited for weeks with no word. She'd gone back to the sidewalk a few times, holding her "Hug me for $5" sign, but her heart wasn't in it anymore. She'd started to lose hope, thinking the president's promise was just empty words. But then, out of the blue, she'd gotten a call last week from someone in Trump's administration, asking for her resume and details about her skills. She'd sent everything over, not expecting much, but now here she was, on her way to an interview. When she arrived at the factory, a massive building with the name Global Max Freight Solutions on the side, Marissa felt a mix of nerves and excitement. The air smelled of oil and metal, and the sound of machinery hummed in the background. She walked into the reception area, where a friendly woman named Linda checked her in and handed her a visitor badge. "They're expecting you in the conference room," Linda said with a smile. Marissa nodded, her palms sweaty, and followed the directions down a long hallway. The interview was with two people, a man named Robert, the logistics manager, and a woman named Priya, the HR lead. They greeted Marissa warmly, and she immediately noticed that Priya had a small tattoo on her wrist, a flower. It gave Marissa a small boost of confidence. Robert started by explaining the role. "We're expanding our operations to handle more shipments coming through the port," he said. "The president's new trade deals have brought in a lot of business, and we need someone to help manage inventory, coordinate deliveries, and keep things running smoothly. Your online course in logistics caught our eye, and we heard you're determined. Tell us about yourself." Marissa took a deep breath and started talking. She told them about her past retail experience, her ability to manage cash and inventory, and her training on machinery. She mentioned the online course and how she taught herself to use logistics software. She didn't shy away from her struggles either. She explained how she'd been rejected from jobs because of her tattoos, but how she refused to give up. "I'm here because I want a real chance," she said, her voice steady. "I'm not afraid of hard work, and I'll do whatever it takes to prove myself." Robert and Priya exchanged a glance, then nodded. Priya spoke next. "Marissa, I'll be honest. We've had a lot of candidates, but your story stands out. The fact that you've kept pushing, despite all the setbacks, shows us you've got grit. And honestly, your tattoos, they're not an issue here. We care about what you can do, not how you look," Robert added. "The president's team reached out to us directly about you. They said you deserved a fair shot, and after meeting you, I think they're right. We'd like to offer you the job, starting next week. It's a full-time position, with benefits, and a starting wage of $18 an hour. What do you say?" Marissa felt like the room was spinning. She blinked back tears and managed to say, "Yes, absolutely, I'll take it." They shook hands, and Priya handed her a packet of paperwork to fill out. As Marissa walked out of the factory, she felt lighter than she had in years. She pulled out her phone and called Tyler. "I got the job!" she shouted as soon as he picked up. Tyler cheered so loudly she had to hold the phone away from her ear. "I knew you would, Marissa. We're gonna celebrate tonight," he said. The first day on the job was a whirlwind. Marissa arrived early, wearing a bright yellow safety vest over her clothes, just like the one in the thumbnail you saw. The factory floor was bustling with activity, forklifts moving crates, workers scanning barcodes, and trucks pulling in to load shipments. Marissa's role was to oversee the inventory system, ensuring that incoming and outgoing goods were tracked accurately. She spent the morning shadowing Priya, learning the ropes of the software they used, and by the afternoon, she was already helping with a shipment of car parts headed to a nearby port. At first, Marissa felt overwhelmed. The pace was fast, and she wasn't used to the noise or the scale of the operation. But as the days turned into weeks, she found her rhythm. She got to know her coworkers, people like Jamal, a forklift driver who always had a joke to share, and Elena, a single mom who worked the night shift to support her kids. Marissa realized she wasn't alone in her struggles. Many of her coworkers had faced their own challenges before landing this job. It made her feel like she belonged. One day, about a month into her job, Marissa was called into Robert's office. She felt a pang of nervousness. Had she done something wrong? But when she walked in, Robert was smiling. "Marissa, you've been doing great work," he said. "We've noticed how quickly you've picked up the system, and the team likes working with you. We're promoting you to lead coordinator for the evening shift. It comes with a raise, $20 an hour, and more responsibility. Think you're up for it?" Marissa couldn't believe it. "A promotion already?" She nodded eagerly. "Yes, I'm ready. Thank you for the opportunity." That night, she went home and told Tyler the news. They celebrated with pizza and ice cream, the first time in months they'd splurged on a meal. Tyler looked at her with pride. "You're killing it, Marissa," he said. "I'm gonna be like you when I grow up." Marissa laughed, ruffling his hair. "You're gonna be even better," she said. As the months went on, Marissa's life transformed. With her steady income, she was able to move herself and Tyler into a better apartment, one with a small backyard where Tyler could play. She paid off some overdue bills and even started saving a little each month. She kept her tattoos visible, no longer feeling the need to hide who she was. At work, she became a mentor to new hires, sharing her story to inspire them. She never forgot that day on the sidewalk, or the promise Trump made. Whether it was his influence or her own determination, Marissa knew one thing for sure. She'd fought for this, and she'd won. Looking back, Marissa often thought about what opportunity really meant. For her, it wasn't just about a job. It was about being seen, being given a chance to prove herself, and building a better life for her and Tyler. She hoped her story would inspire others to keep pushing, to never give up, even when the odds seemed stacked against them. And as she stood on the factory floor overseeing a shipment with confidence, Marissa knew she was exactly where she was meant to be. If Marissa's journey moved you, take a moment to reflect on what opportunity means in your own life. Don't forget to subscribe to never miss an episode, and drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about Marissa's new chapter?